This is honestly the worst damage I have ever seen on an engine, and it's my engine. This is day one of my Audi TT build series. We're shooting for high horsepower goal on this car, and I figure what better video to film on day one than ripping the head off this thing and discovering all the damage that was caused when this engine blew up. If you're not familiar with this car or me, hi, my name is Alex Whittick. I'm an automotive content creator, and this is my 1.8T Audi TT that is shooting for 800 horsepower off nitrous and over 1,000 on nitrous. This goal might sound crazy, but it's something I'm shooting for, and I'm gonna film the whole process with you guys. So if you're excited, make sure you like the video and you subscribe, because the videos are only gonna get more crazy from here on out. In order for me to build one of the fastest Audi TTs in the country, I have to show you guys how committed I am to this whole process. And I figured there's no better way than starting from ground zero and saying goodbye to the engine that's in my car. So we just gotta make some room and well, all right, I feel way more relieved now that I cut the timing belt. There's no real good reason behind it, but it's gonna make things easier. I don't have to get down to the bottom and, take it apart. This engine's toast anyway. So I wanna start off by taking all these valve cover bolts off. Now I've gained access. Oh no. Good as new. In theory, with enough wiggles, I should now have access to this area and the valve cover. Wow, look how long this engine's been sitting. There's no oil up on this valve cover at all. Thankfully, in my case, I don't really care, but if your engine's been sitting for a while, I highly suggest you crank it over a bunch with the coil packs disconnected so you can circulate some oil throughout your engines. But I'm gonna disconnect this turbo from the head, right from the top, so I don't have to disconnect any of the lines going to the turbo. Oh, that's not good. Oh. All right, guys, they got me, but I needed it. So this is the socket I had to get from Harbor Freight. It's an E14. I thought I was gonna have to need an E12, but either way, it goes right on there. I'm gonna heat those up and give them a smack, and hopefully the turbo just drops right off. I'm gonna hit these one by one. First, I'm gonna go for the back one. I'm gonna hit it with the impact. Nothing. Now I'm gonna try the breaker bar. I was about to say, I hope it snaps, because like if it snaps, then I just like, same effect, you're just breaking the head off. I'm gonna do this one. This is the one I kind of messed the head up on, so let's hope. Didn't have the right tools on there, no, I broke it. Oh, no. Oh. Come on. Guys, I don't believe this, but when it broke loose and caused me to get all torn up. I'm all torn up, boys, but I'll tell you what, it's worth it. And then, we got Brandon on the torch. I got an inverted triple square, and it's a 3/8. It's not exactly what this was, but it's what we probably need. So once that's heated up, we're gonna hammer this on, and I think it'll get the job done. Shit. You just spun on that bit. All right, y'all, we got Brandon on the sticks. Brandon suggested to me that we drill this thing out, and it's drilling really nicely because Brandon got it really hot. So we got some automatic transmission fluid, and drill a little bit. The whole head is almost gone, and we've only been doing this for like 2 seconds. Yo, Brandon, show him a little angle of that while it cools bit. Not bad, right?
Not bad.
Cool. Gonna take the head off this thing. All right, guys, I think we're on one of the last swings, and then this thing's gonna be popping out. So, yep, turbo is free, the head is off the bolt, and all I have to do now is separate everything else, and the turbo is gonna stay in place. So I didn't have to get underneath the car in order to get to that. So I feel way better. We're ripping the front end off the TT so we can gain more access to the engine bay. Now I got the car jacked up in the air and my bumper is actually a two-piece, so we'll take off the bottom splitter half now. Guys? The way I made this bumper mount is actually so cool because the bumper now just slides right off in two pieces. And it's held in by this 1-inch square tubing and this flat stock. She just sandwiches right from the bottom. And I made these the night before I drove to Tennessee last second. So I'm going to revise these when I put the whole car back together. And these are going to be quick release. The quick release is going to be sick. I think you guys are really going to like that. And just like that, now my bumper is off. And it truly is a two-piece, which makes it perfect and easy for taking it off and installation. Once I dial it in, I'll be able to get on and off of trailers way easier. First headlight, second headlight. Now we're at the point where the whole front end is pretty much taken apart and we're almost in service mode. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the intercooler off, the crash bar off. And at the same time, that's going to remove this mount that holds on the lower half of the two-piece bumper because it's mounted directly to the crash bar. Oh, I got so lucky. I'll hold it up with my foot this time. Oh my lordy, that hurt. Yeah, that was nice. At least now the intercooler is also removed. And that gives you guys a better look at my intercooler mount. This is all just a bunch of tubing that I'd cut up. So that holds the intercooler, that holds the mounts, and it's all just teed right off of the stock OEM crash bar. Nice. I should have been able to take all this off as one, but I discovered that there are, for some reason, these old Phillips heads holding these on as well. So once I get those off, I get to there. Could not get to there because of the crash bar. Did not know about those. Do not like those. That is dumb. I'm hoping that they'll just impact right out because if they don't, I'll have to drill them out, but... Oh, dude. Oh, thank you. I thought I was going to have to do some drilling. I'm feeling way better now. Now I'm just hoping that this side comes off just as easily. Please be nice to me. Please. Oh, bro, thank the Lord. Oh, yes, dude. Yes, dude. This pile is adding up. I'm feeling way better about ripping this apart, and I'm also blind from the light. Holy. Okay, so with all that out of the way, I wasn't going to take any of that off this video, but then I realized we're already here. We got to drain the coolant anyway. Before you pull the head, you got to drain the coolant. Get all that out of the way. Now we have no issues. And I've actually also just left the car up in the air and kind of on a tilt because I want all the coolant to flow at least out of the head. It's the highest point. So at least out of the head. And then the lowest part of the radiator is right here. And we'll be able to drain all that coolant right out of the petcock hole. Pretty sure all the coolant will come out, but either way, as long as it's out of the head, that's all that really matters right now. So for anybody that's never dealt with a Mark IV or a TT before, this is actually really cool. You literally just spin this bad boy and all the coolant just starts coming out. It makes life so much easier. And yeah, I don't know why other models don't have this at all, but that'll fill up. We'll give it a little while and the head will drain. This will help it drain actually faster. And it's doing its thing. The coolant's just about done draining. I'm about to pull all the accessories off of the head to make even that job much easier because we're still waiting on a T55, unfortunately. That's what's holding us up. I literally would have had this head pulled yesterday, probably with the front end still on. But I'm glad I was waiting because now I got all this out of the way and it's gonna make this job and all the future jobs way easier. Let's go ahead and pull in all these accessories to make more room. Now my secondary water pump is free and out of the way. Another piece of the charge pipe. And of course, no good deed goes unpunished. This is actively leaking all over the ground. That's great. That's great. That's even better. I got the oil cleaned up, super easy, but unfortunately the charge pipe has to stay in there. I at least got some paper towels in there for now because these bolts are just stuck in there. The bracket is completely loose. I got that one out. This one is internally stripped. And well, they're out of the way. I'll wait for that until I get to the core support, but I am confused. Something to note is all that oil in the charge pipe is kind of weird because less than 2,000 miles ago, I put that charge pipe in there and I checked out the shaft plate and the turbo, felt completely fine. So maybe that oil is from the engine and we have deeper issues than I actually thought. I thought I literally just ate the head, but I could be completely wrong and we're gonna find that out. So we just gotta keep digging deeper. So now I'm gonna take off the intake manifold. Oh, this is super convenient. And I can already hear the comments. I'm using a ball tip. Makes life so much easier. Off angle. Oh yeah, Yep, I'm using that. This one had a chunk of metal in it, but I got it. And now this should actually be free. Oh yeah, sensor. Now I gotta pop the backs off the fuel injector plugs. Just come right off, and then the injectors can stay in the manifold. Now I gotta remove these plastic clips, and I'm glad I'm learning and you guys get to watch, because if I break it, it doesn't matter. And you guys will know how to do it on your car now, and that is free. And this is also gonna be free in 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. Okay. One more bolt. I found the bolt that was holding me up, and I made this contraption ballpoint 6 mil. And now the manifold should come off. Like that. So I got the manifold off. As you guys can see, hasn't been leaking. It looks good. Happy with that. I might sell all this stuff, so if anyone's interested, let me know. Even the turbo kit. If the turbo's okay, we'll check it for shaft play, and I'll make a video about that or announce that. But look how clean the backside of the valves are. Oh yeah, there's metal in that valve right there. You see that? You see all that metal? Oh yeah, there's carnage. Cylinder 1 looks like it's the problem child. And oh yeah, there's metal in that. Wow, look how big the one is in there. The whole valve is like snapped. Dude, this is gonna be so sick when I pull the head off and you guys get to see this. All these are all messed up. All right, guys, well, I got the fuel rail torn out of the car, and we're pretty much left to the point where we just have to pull the head bolts to get this head off. So I'll see you guys when I get the tool. Here goes nothing. Oh, that's so easy. Guys, so I'm not using the proper head bolt extraction tool. I would just get a T55 long, like a lot of people online are using. Only difference is the shape of how it goes in, but after that, it's the exact same. So the T55 fits right into there. It's the exact same shape, but I'm pretty sure the bit is called like a poly something, and it's just a little more round. T55 is a little more sharp, but with a few hammer hits, she goes right in there, and clearly it comes right out. Also, pretty much almost like, should be obvious, you want to get all the oil out of the head bolt bolts, because when I go to compress it or hammer it, the oil won't compress and it won't allow it to get all the engagement that I need it to. I could blow them out too, but that'd be super messy. It's super simple. Perfect. That's officially half the head bolts removed. Like a glove. That one was easy. One more remaining. Last one. That head is loose. 10 head bolts removed. Then I gotta pull some coolant lines, and in theory, this head should pull off. And this is the exact reason we drained all the coolant, because you pull that right off the block. Now the engine is completely free and there's no coolant on the ground or in the cylinders. Now with the timing belt being chopped, the coolant hose being off, and the turbo being dismounted, shake the head and watch, it's completely disconnected. Oh, the head's crooked. All right, I'm officially pulling the head out of the TT. Let's go. Oh, oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, cylinder 1 is gone. The valve is in the head. Holy shit. Holy shit. Dude, that is crazy. I gotta put this down. No way, bro. There's no way. Dude. Oh my. Cylinder 3, cylinder 4. Dude, I thought it was just an 8-up valve. Oh my God. No way. No way. Are you kidding me? That's crazy. I was not expecting that at all. Holy, I think that's where our oil is coming from. Coming up through the valve and out through the intake. So the turbo is probably still fine. I mean, the turbo's right here. Wow. Dude, that is actually like, that's insane. Wow. So I'm regrouped. I got the engine standing up, and look how bad that damage truly is. Look, that's a little chunk of a valve. Valve's completely missing there. All these valves are 8 up. Look, even cylinder 2 sustained damage. More valves. Cylinder 3 sustained damage, maybe. Or maybe that's just fallen chunks. That is insane, dude. Ow. That valve dropped down and said yeet to everything in sight. Dude, I don't know if that's all just debris, but there is debris in every freaking hole. There was chunks of metal on the valve. So what I think happened is when this blew up and it kept driving, the intake had received a whole bunch of debris and then it spread it through all the other stuff because it went back and then back in. And that's why there was chunks of metal in cylinder 3. But cylinder 3 looks okay. That is so crazy. This is honestly the worst damage I have ever seen on an engine, and it's my engine. I'm pretty sure the turbo is completely fine. I mean, we're gonna have to check that out. I don't know, maybe I'll put this stuff up for sale and you guys can have a chance of getting it because I'm not using any of this stuff besides the trans, the Haldex system. Yeah, there is way more carnage than I was expecting, guys. I don't know if you were expecting that. I'm like genuinely out of breath because that was so insane and I was freaking out. But oh my Lord. Insane. But as you guys know, I have no mechanical sympathy. I saw this coming and I already had plans to make way more power. So like I said at the beginning of the video, we're shooting for 800 off nitrous, over 1,000 on nitrous, and we're just gonna progressively build this thing till we reach our goal. So if you guys wanna help support the channel, smash the like button, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one because we are gonna keep building at this thing until the final vision is complete. So subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh my God! Oh my God! Dude, cylinder 1 is gone!